Welcome to the Builders of the Mystic Circle for Al-Anon members. This is not just a YouTube channel, it's a safe haven for those seeking solace from the storm. We're all on a journey here, some of us just starting, others far along the path. But we all have one goal: to find tranquility amidst the chaos. Together, we can build a circle of trust and understanding. If you find value in our shared stories, please do like, subscribe, and share this channel with others who might also benefit. Don't forget to hit the notification button to stay updated with our latest content. So buckle up, as I take you on a journey of my search for tranquility, a journey that began with the harsh reality of my obliviousness. Have you ever felt like tranquility is a distant dream, impossible to achieve? I once thought that continuously talking to God about my problems was a bridge to peace. Yet the tranquility I sought remained elusive. You see, I've been an expert at tuning out distractions since childhood. When my parents would fight, I'd cover my ears, create a shell around myself. Even the harsh sting of a belt couldn't penetrate that shell. I was so good at tuning out, it was frightening. One day, while pleading with God for relief, I ran a stop sign, oblivious to the blaring sirens and flashing lights behind me. It was a wake-up call. I was like an Al-Anon member who shared once that he was so consumed with his own problems, he often missed the solutions offered at meetings. There I was, so engrossed in my own problems that I couldn't even hear the sirens or see the flashing lights. Sometimes the most profound insights come from unexpected sources. There I was, seated in an Al-Anon meeting, my mind racing as usual. One of the members began to share his struggle. He spoke of his tendency to dwell so deeply on his problems that he often missed the solutions offered right there in the meetings. It was a surprising confession that struck a chord. At first I couldn't see how this applied to me. I was there, wasn't I? I was listening, or at least I thought I was. But then, something happened. I realized that, like him, my mind was preoccupied. The chairperson had barely finished the welcome when my thoughts had already wandered off to one of my many problems. I was so engrossed in my troubles that I was missing the wisdom being shared right in front of me. It was a moment of clarity, a turning point. I saw my pattern of behavior, and it was disconcerting. I had to make a change. I started to actively focus on the words being spoken, on the experiences and the strength shared by the people in those meetings. I began to meditate on the power and love of my higher power, rather than dwelling on my problems. It was a subtle shift, but a significant one. I started to feel a sense of peace that I hadn't felt in a long time. Yes, the problems were still there, but they didn't seem as overwhelming anymore. I felt lighter, more hopeful. I was focusing on solutions, not just problems. This shift in perspective didn't happen overnight. It required conscious effort and a willingness to change. But it was worth it. It was like a light switched on. I saw the pattern, and I knew I had to change. And so I did, one day at a time, one meeting at a time. Change is never easy, but it is often the path to peace. An often heard saying, yet it's surprising how much truth it holds. For me, the turning point came when I decided to shift my focus. It was a choice, a conscious decision I made to concentrate on the experience, strength, and hope shared at the meetings I attended. You see, before this, my mind was a whirlwind, a constant stream of thoughts, worries, and fears. It was like a radio stuck on a station that only played the saddest songs. But then I began to listen, really listen, to the voices around me, to the stories of resilience and courage. And as I did, my own worries began to lose their hold on me. I started to see that the world was bigger than my problems, that there were solutions, there was hope. This shift in focus, this new perspective, brought with it a sense of peace I had been seeking for so long. It was as if a weight had been lifted off my shoulders, allowing me to breathe freely, to live freely. The secret, I realized, was not in dwelling on the problems, but in focusing on the solutions. It was in understanding that we are not alone in our struggles, that there is a higher power that carries us through our darkest times. When I took my problems to this higher power, I learned to leave them there, to trust that I was being guided, protected. This act of surrender, of letting go, was not an admission of defeat, but a declaration of faith. And so, each day, I make the choice to focus on this higher power, to meditate on the strength, power, and love that is bestowed upon me. It is this focus, this daily practice of prayer and meditation, that has given me a new perspective on life. Yes, I still have problems, but they just don't seem so big anymore. And that, my friends, is the power of a new perspective. From this new perspective, I learned the power of surrender, the courage to let go of what I cannot control and to trust the process. This was not an easy transition. It was a journey, one that required patience, strength, and most importantly, faith. I had to learn to surrender my worries, my fears, my doubts to this higher power. I had to learn to trust that I was not alone in my struggles, that there was a force greater than myself guiding me, protecting me. It was a humbling experience, one that brought me to my knees, but in doing so, it also lifted me up. It gave me strength, courage, hope. The power of surrender, I realized, was not in giving up, but in letting go, in releasing the burdens that weighed me down, in freeing myself from the chains of worry and fear. It was in this act of surrender, in this letting go, that I found peace, the peace that I had been seeking, the tranquility that had eluded me. It was there all along, hidden beneath the layers of worry and fear. All I had to do was let go, trust, surrender. And in doing so, I found not just peace, but freedom. Freedom from worry, freedom from fear, freedom to live, to love, to be me. And so, my friends, I encourage you to embrace the power of surrender, to trust in the process, to believe in the higher power. For it is in surrender that we find peace. It is in trust that we find freedom. Thank you for joining us at the Builders of the Mystic Circle for Al-Anon members. If you found this video helpful, be sure to like, subscribe, share, and hit that notification button. If you have an interest in joining Al-Anon, go to al-anon.org.